No, I just know that it was down, down. Yeah.
Yeah, this. Yeah. It was my old my old days, man. Disturbed and
Oh yeah.
man, had so much good music back in the day. Green
Oh,
Day. I was in the military back in what 94, 95 ish. And we're going to see concerts all the time. We're down in San Diego. They had a lot of those music festivals that, COVID's
oh,
going to change
oh,
this
absolutely, man.
point, but I just remember all those music festivals, man. I loved them.
I miss those. I grew up in the Northwest, so that's where like all the grunge era, right? I mean, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, all that, all that, the whole era. I really love. I just enjoyed that era. And here's the thing: the reason why I like that era because it was like you could dress poor and you were cool, and I was already poor. So, like grunge, hey, that works for me. I don't have to go out and buy nice clothes. Like
Absolutely.
this is what my mom's buying me already. The clothes and the Goodwill. Okay, that's fine. That works for me. But yeah,
I thought that was very unique though to be in you when you're in the middle of those things, right? When you're in the middle of a storm or in the middle of an event or whatever, when you look back on it, you were in the middle of something that was really changing history, the way music was. It started that grunge era, you know what I mean? You were right at the forefront of that, right in the middle of it.
Yeah, it was awesome. Actually, a funny story is I saw Nirvana before the Nevermind album came out. And we went to a place, I forgot, it's called La Luna in Portland, Oregon. It was a little venue. And I remember I would tell my parents I was going to go out and I'd come late and I was getting in trouble. But anyways, it was an any age. At that time, it was any age. You could have just gone in or maybe they didn't card me or ID me at that time. I don't know. Anyways, it was Nirvana's Bleach album. I don't know if you guys remember, if some of you guys remember this. It was a great album right before Nevermind came out. And then Nevermind came out, Teen Spirit. And I'm like, man, that sounds familiar. And remember Tower Records?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tower Records. That Bleach album, they were selling it for like $3. I remember four. I don't know, it was cheap back in a CD. There's like a little, because back over the people would sell their singles, at Tower Records. If you can get your single or whatever selling. So anyways, to make a long story short, it was pretty cool to see like a band that you saw before that wasn't really popular or was popular in a certain the music industry, and all of a sudden they become big, right? You're like, wow, that was amazing. To me, that was like, wow, and it was cool. And then you had to go buy that album, and that's still one of my favorite albums is the Nevermind album. So.
Oh, absolutely. That is iconic. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Every time it comes on, I gotta listen to it a couple of times, man. It gets me hyped, man. That's one of those anthem songs, that's
yeah. It motivates you. It motivates you. So how's your week going so far? All right, we didn't even say hi to people. Hold on. I'm sorry. We just started talking. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to BSN. Good morning. How are you? Welcome to BSN. We're excited that you're here. Matt's excited that you're here. We just started talking and we started having the conversation and we didn't invite you in. I'm so sorry. So welcome to our conversation. Let us know if there's a song or a era of music that you enjoy, that you like. Please let us know in the comments. Jump in on it. So.
Absolutely. I like all kinds of genres of music. Depends on my mood. Sometimes I like it really jamming, sometimes really soft, old school oldies. I like it all. So Ben was just talking about as he joined us, where he was from in the Pacific Northwest area, right?
Yeah, Northwest. Portland, or there's a little town called Beaverton where Nike first started. That's my town. We originally came from LA. We're one of those people that we were from Los Angeles. And when things started getting bad in LA, like the whole gangs, and I was in that era where, if you remember the movie Colors, that was a great movie with Sean Penn. That whole scene was really, that's where I would say that movie is pretty much like a documentary of the things that really happened in that time. And it started getting hard for us our family, right? We would see. I remember neighbors were like getting shot. That's what was happening. Drive-bys were real. The neighborhood changed, and my parents, they just made a decision that it was time for us to move, and they made that decision. We sold everything. We got rid of everything in LA. My dad was he was a bar manager at a restaurant called, I don't know if you guys know it, but it's called El Cholo up in LA. I was popular back.
I haven't been there. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And my mom was just a house mom, and my dad was making good money at that time as bar manager, at that time in a popular restaurant. But the thing is, though, that lifestyle wasn't good for him also too, obviously, because it's you're working nights and you're doing that kind of stuff, and we were young kids. So my mom, gave my dad a decision. Hey, we need to change our lives, and we changed our lives, and that's how I ended up in Oregon. So
doing what's right for the family, that's not always the best decision to make. That's funny you mentioned that. My mom made a similar decision. I was doing the wrong things, not on the straight and narrow, and she shipped me out to Indiana to go, be with some family to kind of get away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was as successful an experience because I did end up going back right away. Man, I'm an LA kid, man. I like the city. I like the helicopters and the lights and sirens and the activity, man. I love all of that stuff. I say that now, but I could not imagine living in the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the funny thing about you. I mean, first impressions, you would assume that Matt is from the country, right? You would assume that, we call it assumption. People say, oh, are you from
we go corn fed.
Yeah. Are you corn fed?
Right.
Yeah. But then when you get to know Matt more and more, he's a city boy, he's out there. He's seen a lot, and that's not really where you, that's not your background, so it's
that's what people, and I tell them, they're like, hey, where are you from? I say, I'm from LA. And they look at me and I say, I'm from Lower Alabama. And then they
yeah.
Just kidding, I'm from Los Angeles. No way, but yeah. I love the city, man. I love Las Vegas. I love the lights, the vibe of the town, the energy. Even though I don't participate in a lot of the strip activities and stuff, there's still a lot of it that circles around our existence here in this town, right? You're joining by casinos, you're working with and serving and helping and being alongside people that work at these casinos, So it's definitely a huge part of our life here in Vegas, and I absolutely love it. Thanks everyone for joining us. We got Rick in there, Scotty. Who else was in there? Somebody else was in there. I'm flashing up there, but hey, thanks for joining us this morning. We're just having our good cup of coffee, man, talking about music, talking about Las Vegas. My week's been kind of a whirlwind. I know I haven't been on as much. I've been trying to go live a little bit more and be more out in the group, in each of the groups that I'm in. So the We Got Your Back group, we got involved in a raffle to raise money for Kyler's Kicks. So we solicited business owners. We had a lot of people that supported us in getting donations, and now we're just trying to, promote that to get as many people to buy raffle tickets as possible. We actually we had a hiccup in our time frame, so we actually extended it a little longer to give us more time to get more money, because I don't think $10,000 is a huge amount of money to get this teen center open. You know what I mean?
But it's doing something, man. That's the whole thing, is you're out there creating that activity to get others inspired to give. And that's amazing, man, to see where you're out there. And there's so many people, I see so many people engaging with you on that whole, on your lives, on your videos, and there's so many people want to help out. So that's cool, man. And you're driving that.
Right. We trying, buddy. We're getting the word out. I was talking to some people at the Vegas Chamber yesterday, so we're just trying to, help out as we can. Hey, Donald, how you doing? Donald just joined us. So, those are the things that have been consuming me for the last couple of weeks, man. Just trying to figure out, what's the right message to go to each of the groups that I'm trying to, engage with the most. You know what I mean? But the We Got Your Back right now has got a lot of my attention, because we're under the gun. We have a certain amount of time to raise as much money as we can.
Yeah, and that's one thing we're trying to talk to everyone about in BSN is your message and how to have a great message and how to communicate your message in the right group. For example, Matt is out there and We Got Your Back. Is Matt out there pitching his real estate business? Is he out there and We Got Your Back? If you're not a member of their group, you need to join. Is he out there going, hey, do you guys want to buy a house? I can help you with real estate. No, he's out there sharing his message about helping others to get people to see eyes on him and to get to know him while he's doing positive work, right? Matt's taking that action. Is he in BSN talking about his real estate? Right, he is. That's what BSN, business sales and networking. You should be talking about business sales and networking pros. And then we also have another group called Live the Good Life in Las Vegas, which that group I'm excited about. That's my like fun group. I love that group. And Matt jumps in there on the too, and he's like, "Hey guys, welcome to Las Vegas." He's out there talking about the things that he's doing in Las Vegas. He's out there talking about his you're running for the what's it called? The
Cumberland North HOA Board of Directors.
HOA. Thank you. He's running for the HOA, and he's out there, and people want to get to know. So they're like, "Oh, who's this guy in the HOA?" And that group is growing too. And that group is growing with. My goal is to get more. I need more Las Vegas people in there, but I know people from outside. Here's the thing: people love Las Vegas, man. I mean, there's people that don't live in Las Vegas that are from like different countries or way from the other side, and they just love the fact they're excited to know someone like Matt. They want to get to meet someone like Matt that lives in Las Vegas, and they want to know what is life like in Las Vegas, right? They just want to know. So their eyes are open when they're out there. So it's cool, man. It's cool.
I was talking to a lady in one of the groups this morning. She was asking about what's going on. She's thinking of moving here in the future, what's going on with jobs. And we just had a brief conversation in the comments, but it was, again, somebody that I could connect with,
Yeah.
And that's what it's about, is making those connections. And I'm not even sure what group it's in at this point. I'm trying to, identify all those opportunities, but that's really where the engagement and all that starts coming from. That's where the good connections happen. Yeah. Those groups, not in the buy sell houses groups. That's not where they're. People don't go there. Realtors go there to put their houses up there, but I don't see too many people looking in there.
Yeah. Who gets excited? Who wakes up in the morning and goes, "I'm going to join this real estate group, and I want to look at houses that other realtors are posting, and I want to see all their houses." No one gets excited about that. I'm not excited. If I was looking for a house, the last thing I want to do is not do that. I would not. I would want to find someone that I'm familiar with, someone who just, like Matt, who's reaching out to me, is doing his thing. And I had a question about real estate, like, "Hey, like I'm about to sell my house. Like, I have a question. Can I get a comps, right? The comps for the house. I want to know about my neighborhood. I want to know is it worth it to sell? What are they going to ask you? Is it worth it to sell right now? Should I be selling my house right now, or should I be refining
to sell? Or should I hold on to it, or should I keep it as an investment, or is refining the right option? There's so many options right now.
Yeah. Matt's not going to go, "Do you want to buy a house?" Like, hey, how's it going? If Matt puts a funnel out there that said, "Hey, you want to buy a house?" and people say, "Yeah, of course." But you have to get to know people. It's almost like you have to use your social skills that you have out in the world. You should be able to fine tune them in this world. That's kind of what we're trying to teach, right? What we're working on every single day is teaching people. And we're crafting that too. We're working on our craft too. It's a craft.
It is 100%. You're right on target, because the last couple of weeks, what I've been working on is crafting that right message, because I have that group, the We Got Your Back group. I got 2,000 people in there, but now it's a point where I can now personally introduce. It's not growing at such a clip that I'm doing so much activity within the group. I can now personally introduce myself to each and every member. "Hey, my name's Maddie. Have you been helped in the group? Do you need some help? Did you want to give some help? Is there somebody I can connect you with?" I can't always help people. Even in real estate, there's some things I specialize in and other things that I don't, where I can connect you with. But in the We Got Your Back group, is I can't feed everybody. I can't provide food for or shelter for everybody, but being a connector is now what I'm able to do. So now I can connect them if they want to donate or if they want to get some donations.
Yeah.
And then I can also say, hey, I'm a real estate agent. So if you don't have somebody you already trust, I want to put in an application, give me your info, or here's my info. Let's connect. And next time you have a real estate question, give me a call.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the idea of getting your message in a way where you're selling. So almost knocked my camera down. You're selling, but not selling, or you're selling yourself. The whole idea. You got to know how to sell yourself, and having your knowing your history, a little brief bio, not too much. Just trying to find that like we were just talking this morning, right? Matt and I just started off our conversation about music, where we're from, what we did, a little story, a little connection, and then we rolled right into it. And that's how a conversation starts. We didn't start off with, so Matt, you want to buy a house? No, man, I just wanted to come talk to you, man. I just wanted to have a cup of coffee. That's it.
Right.
I'm not a real estate guy, so I was just, saying that Matt's in real estate, so talk to Matt about buying a house. No, don't send me a message. Yeah, man, I want to buy a house.
Hey, if you're ready to buy and sell, you can definitely. Let's say what else we got going on, Ben? How's your life been going? How's the strip down there? What's the energy and the vibe down there?
Oh man, it's here. It's a little bit quiet. It's quiet down for the week. A little bit more relaxed, but we are busy, man. People. Here's the thing. If you don't know, I work in high-end luxury. I've been in luxury retail for many years, probably about 20 years. Personally, what I do is right now I'm just rebuilding my clientele. And not say rebuilding, but I'm always rebuilding my clients in my business. I love trying to find diamonds. I love that's what I think that's my finding the right people to work with every single day. That makes me happy. When I can reach out to somebody and have a connection, have a conversation, and it doesn't matter how much they spend. What matters to me most is if we have a great conversation, create a friendship, and then I can save I love the fact when I say, I'm going to save this person's phone number, I'm going to save their name and email, and I want to keep that information, keep their birthday, or I want to keep their information in my phone, and that way in the future I can reach out to them in the future and share something awesome, share something awesome, right? Because here's the thing, a lot of us are dealing. I know there's people that go out there, and a lot of us are working with people like, oh man, I got to deal with these people, and that's not. Yeah, that's business. That's life, right? Matt, I'm sure, deals with a lot of knuckleheads all the time. Yeah, real estate, you probably dealing with a lot of people asking you the same question, the same, all these, but when you find somebody that you can have a great connection and have a great relationship, it's worth it. I don't know if that's something, maybe that's a personality trait. I'm just trying to, or maybe that's something that I was thinking about. I think we just love to serve. I think that's something that we love to do, is help people.
Right. I like connecting people. That's really been I've always done that when in my construction career. I did that a lot, and even in real estate is, people like you said it. I know a guy. Hey, when you need to know somebody, does Matt know somebody? Generally, I do. Do I know everybody in town? Probably not, but I know quite a few people, or I know people that can connect to the right people, and I think that's important.
Yeah. So business has been great. I mean, and we always talk about people. I know outside the strip and in the strip, and I know there's a lot of challenges going on with people, like the jobs, and I understand that the hotels are closed. There's certain hotels that are starting to reopen. So things are coming back. Traffic is coming back. I don't know if Planet Hollywood is open yet.
I heard it's coming. I want to say it's the next couple of days. I know it was slated to.
Yeah.
I've been talking to a lot of my construction guys, concrete guys. I met with one on the strip the other day. Some of the other guys I talked to, they're busy. They're just not off the rails busy like they were a couple months ago. They were really off the rails. There was so much work rolling into the year. It seems like they've caught up, and I think I think people are taking a breath right now because this election. I think, and it's a personal, just a guess on my part. I think everybody's just tired of it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care whose side you're on. There's just so much energy that is going towards this event happening on top of all the other frickin' events of 2020.
Sure.
I think it's a little bit of exhaust.
Yeah, it is a little bit exhausting. I think that's why you got to be careful with what you're putting in your mind. I know when the whole COVID thing happened, right? Hopefully we don't get locked off for saying that, but there was so much fear getting pushed out. There's so much fear people were like, oh my God, it's like, you guys, we're all still here. Like I'm still here, Matt's still here, all of us, no one's like, our group is still growing, it's still growing. No, I'm not trying to say not to be afraid of, I'm not, whatever. What I'm saying is I ended up getting sick. I shared that story with you guys. I shared what happened to me. And that wasn't because of like, because I was I want to share that story because I want people to know my experience, what was happening to me. And just in case something happened to me, I didn't log on the next day. Right. But at the end of the day, it worked out, right? It was like, hey, I'm okay. Like, well, it wasn't as bad as, so. But going back to the Strip, man, one of the things that that's happening a lot is the crime. The crime is bad.
No, I'm hearing a lot about that. And what I'm hearing it's contributed to is just the cheap rates because people can come in here almost free and then they're tearing stuff up down there. And that's just ridiculous, man. The people that take the hits on that are the business owners.
Yeah.
The people that are trying, the employees that have to get in and out of those areas, now it's shut down. They miss days of work. Wow, Maddie, that's great English. They miss days of work. All those things happen. Money is spent for damage control and everything else. God, it's just ridiculous, man. It's happening about nightly.
Yeah, there's just a lot of crime happening right now on the Strip. And yeah, you're right, absolutely right. What they ended up doing in where I work is they ended up hiring an extra security just to beef it up, just to on the weekends, just to make sure, because people, here's the thing, we all still have to follow rules, and it seems like people just still don't want to follow rules, and there has to be the way we have to. I understand the whole situation where people are upset because they're wearing the mask, but a lot of us, I'm not in control of that. I have to, in order for my employer to keep me employed or to keep people employed, they have to have rules. They have to put rules. I went to go get a haircut, and I was actually talking to the lady that was cutting my hair, and she only has she had it's a barber shop. I think she had like 4 or 5 chairs, and she can only have 2 chairs in there, like 1, 2, skip 1. So that cuts her business, and then that cuts her business a lot. And then there's a capacity. I remember when her barber shop was like always busy, and she can't have people just coming in and waiting on people. Nope, can't do that. So, and here's the thing: she's a small business owner, and if the state comes in and opens her door and she sees maybe more people that need to be in there, or no one's wearing a mask or whatever the rule is, she can get fined. And as a small business, or no one wants to pay. I don't care if it's $100, $500. I know it's more. I think it's like sometimes they're in the thousands. People are getting fined. No one wants.
A shop that got nailed for $3,000.
$3,000. A nail shop?
No, a taco shop.
A taco shop. You know how many tacos you have to sell to pay off $3,000 fine?
Exactly.
You're crazy. You're crazy. That's crazy. And yeah, that gets me upset. That gets me mad. But these business owners, their hands are tied behind. They can't. They have to wake up in the morning, feed their families, feed their families, pay their bills, pay their staff, and to go out there and fight. To go out there and fight against this whole, and maybe the rules or whatever. There's no really time for them. I know that. I know that the time is so important, man. I'm sure if you gave these people 2 weeks off just to say, hey, no, we'll pay you 2 weeks. And I'm sure they instead of resting, they would still work and try to figure out how to get their business more efficient so they can go back to making more money or making the money they used to.
The innovation is going to come from entrepreneurs and business owners.
Yeah.
To get us through this. And I just firmly believe that. And that's exactly what you're saying. They're going to have to re-engineer the way they do their business to grow, evolve, survive, and adding those undue pressures of the crime that you were just talking about on the Strip, all the nonsense that's happening, just adds more insult to injury.
Yeah. And that's why Matt and I talk on Friday mornings. So that's why you're here to talking with us. So if you have a good idea, let us know. Post it. We having the conversation. You have to be able to speak and have like masterminding. That's what masterminding is, right? We're getting our minds together and we're just conversing rather than we're not here complaining. We're not here going, oh man, like this. We're trying to be like, yeah, you're right. Like, talking about the problem. Is there a solution? Can we solve it? Let's maybe through the week, something will pop up in our mind and we'll think about it. Maybe we'll inspire somebody else to think about something and maybe they'll go out there and solve it. It's the technology, you're right. The technology, the innovation, and making it affordable, making it easy access to get so people can get that information, that technology. I've seen the credit cards now where they have like where you can just no touch cards, people just put their card.
I haven't really used those, man.
Yeah. I haven't used Apple Pay. You introduced me to Facebook Pay.
Yeah.
I have Apple Pay. I know people are starting to use Apple. Are you using Apple Pay? Do you use it?
You know what? I haven't. I haven't at all. You know what I was really impressed with was the Venmo. I put out to the group the other day to ask about the best way to transfer. I ended up doing Venmo. It's super easy.
Yeah.
I don't do any of those contactless ones yet. I haven't.
Yeah. That's the only one I use right now is my credit. I think that whole fear of putting your credit card in there, but Facebook's pretty good. I'm very impressed with Facebook. So
that was when we had breakfast, and I didn't even bring my wallet with me.
Yeah,
I was so embarrassed. Oh my god.
Look, I'm like, we had our first conversation, we had our first coffee, and you're like, I'll pay you at Facebook. I'm like, all right, like, is that okay? And Matt and I had such a good conversation that I trusted him. That him telling me, hey, like I trusted him and I put my account information in. Well, I already have it for Facebook ads, so I wasn't really worried about it. But making payments and taking money, I was like, okay, let's see how this works, and it's very smooth. So
Facebook was really easy. I've been paying a few jobs on Facebook.
Yeah, and if you're using Marketplace to sell items and people, I've sold some stuff and people have paid me on that too. So super easy. So
you know what? You just gave me an idea. I have some items in my garage that I just want to get out, and I think I'm going to put them on Marketplace and do that.
Yeah, put them on Marketplace. And you know what? The only reason why I keep Marketplace, I'm still using Marketplace, is because if you remember when we first started the group, when I first started BSN, it was open to Marketplace. And I was still trying to find my direction. And I was using Marketplace and I was teaching people how to use Marketplace and the goods and the bads. And maybe I'll have to go back and start teaching people about Marketplace again, because Marketplace, that's where a lot of the spammers and this con artists are there. And they're you'll post you're selling your bicycle and all of a sudden you get a DM or, and you get some guy from like India, whatever. I know I want to buy your bicycle. And you're like, yeah, like you look at their profile.
Pick it up.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing about the Marketplace is that there's really not a button to say look at profile to research the profile. There's a little tricky way. You have to hit the picture and really like it to see the profile, and then you see the profile, and then a lot of these profiles are really just blocked out, right? There's no information on it, and you're like, you're like crap, and they want, and I've had people try to hit you up on PayPal, or they're trying to do something, I don't know, so I don't know what they're
worry about that when people are asking for, hey, what's your PayPal or what's this?
Sure.
Is there a way they can hack? I mean, I would imagine if you're getting my account info, you're dropping money in my account, so I don't get it. I don't think like a criminal that way. So I don't know. So I'm cautious.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I was trying to figure that out. Like, how do people, if you guys know any, and here's the thing, I don't have all the time in the world, but if you know anyone that's like, how are people scamming PayPal and how are they using that? Because I've had a few of those hit me up and he goes, can I pay with you with PayPal? And I just tell them right off the bat, no, I'm not, I don't really go into the conversation, but maybe next time that happens to me, I'll play along with the conversation and I'll see how far it goes. And I'll say, oh, I see what they're up to. Like I can see what they're doing. But I haven't gone that far. I just don't have time to tinker with knuckleheads right now. Like,
Exactly. That's why I've tried to go. Zelle is one I use when I
yeah,
with money. Facebook. I mean, that's a huge platform. Zelle. It's connected right to Chase.
yeah.
That was easy. And then what's the other one? Venmo. Those
And
are the ones I've been using, man. Just super duper easy.
yeah, I see those are the best ones so far. I've heard always positive things about those. So yeah, how are we doing for time, Matt?
We're right about there, man. We're right about half an hour, just chopping it up, having a great Friday. Had some great people joining us. Thank you so much. As far as Maddie, I'm trying to get more out in the groups. I want to go live 5 days a week. So I'm going to use, I have those groups. I'm still trying to strategize the best way to get my message out. And again, this group is the way that we all sharpen our messages. And I take my own advice, or sometimes I don't. So I try to implement the things that I talk about. So that's what I've done is I've gone into my business, identified systems so I could systematically put things into place. I have an assistant that helps me, and that way I can focus on doing these things as far as the lives and interacting with the groups. So you will be seeing me more. Join my other groups. The We Got Your Back. I am going to change my community group over for the Summerlin Council because I had it private, so it needs to go public. So I'm going to redo that one. But connect with me. Join me on all the groups where I'm going to be chopping it up.
Yeah, you guys, if you guys need help with anything, just hit us up on the DM. Hit Matt in the DM. Direct message him. If you have a question, please hit me up in the DM, direct message me or friend. Don't forget friend request. That's okay. We're going to accept you. If you just say, hey, I'm in BSN. How are you, Ben? Nice. I really like your message. Matt, I really like you, man. I want to be friends with you. That's the whole idea, is to grow our network, to grow our network. I'm always getting that's why we created the group. And we do have another admin. Lauren's one of our admins. So if you see her stuff, you guys engage with her. Donald's one of our moderators. Who else we have in the group? Ariel is one of our moderators. So we're consistently growing. I'd love to take another moderator on and part of our BSN entourage, but it takes time to cultivate that person, to get them ready to. I'm trying to figure out, make it short here, but trying to figure out a way where maybe it becomes like a little training, become part of our entourage. We work with them, and then we send them out to the fishes, and you can see, a lot of people are doing amazing things with outside BSN, but they're in BSN. And that's the cool thing to see, like Willow, who else is Scotty has this, Scotty's part of our group now. He's doing amazing things in our group, but he's putting that information outside, outside his group. So it's cool to see that happening. And then one other thing I wanted to share with you guys, very, very important, and I'm going to do a lot of live, but I'll share it with you, Matt. Last night I had a training. It was an amazing training about live videos. And then I was like, bam, I wanted to talk to you about this. Number one, guys, live videos. And this threw me away. And I screwed it up already. Eye contact. When you're doing live videos, have eye contact, face to face, right? Like I'm talking to you, right? So we're having this conversation and you're like, number two, guys, and I screwed it up again. It's not, don't say guys, say you. And yeah, it's like I'm having a one-on-one conversation. And as long as we're mindful about it, and this is what teaches me, is when I'm talking to you about it, it's helping me learn. So, and then here's a great example. When I say, I love all of you, or I like all of you, or I care about all of you, it's kind of, but if I say I care about you, if I like you, if I know you, it becomes more, yes, don't worry about who's watching your lives, guys. Don't worry about the results at the end. it's about that one connection. And I remember when we first started, Matt was part of the BSN group, and I remember that there was one, we don't want to say anything negative, but one person was wanting to just grow their audience so fast and so big, and they wanted, and we're like, no, man, it's about connecting with one person. If you connect with one person a day, your message, you've done your job. That's all it is connecting with one person. And I even forget that sometimes. So I have to be mindful. That's why I have to speak it, to remind myself. And that's why I'm here with you. So if I'm just connected with Matt today, that's all. I'm good with that. We had our connection, and I'm good. If I'm connecting with you right now, if you're watching me right now and you're connecting, great. I appreciate you, and I thank you very much. So thank you for being a member in BSN. I'm really happy that you're here. Matt, anything before we go?
No, I'm riding the coattails on that, man. I appreciate everybody that joins us, gives us a little bit of your attention, your feedback, your encouragement, your support, because that's what this is all about. It's helped me sharpen my message. It's enabled me to do things that I want to do, the voice business that I'm now exploring, but doing more with business owners, connecting. So that's what it's all about. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, whether you're working or whether you're chilling. I hope you enjoy it. It's my son's birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday, little Maddie.
He's a 10-10-10 baby. He was born October 10, 2010 at 10:19 a.m. So we're off by 9 minutes to get 10s across the board. But that's my little man. So we're going to go bowling. We got a couple of his little friends. We're going to go bowling and just try and do a little birthday party just to, to honor his little turning 10 years old, man. So that's it.
Dude, it's time to put him to work.
Yeah, dude, totally. No, he's I'm super happy, man. I got a great kid. You know what it's like to have great kids. So
sure.
It's amazing. So everybody, much love to y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. Please check out our groups. Please buy some raffle tickets. There's all kinds of great prizes, and we're just trying to do some great things for our community. Take care, everyone. Slay the day.
Matt's gonna put it in the link. Matt's gonna put it in the
comments already.
All right.
You got it, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Slay the day, folks. Bye-bye.